Allah'ım her yer yıkıldı. Allah'ım Allah'ım. Allah'ım. Yıkıldı yıkıldı.
Baba tekrar geliyor.
Allah'ım.
Bu eczanesi.
On the evening of August 10th, 2025, at exactly 7:53 p.m. local time, residents of northwestern Turkey were jolted by a sudden and violent 6.1 magnitude earthquake. The epicenter was located beneath Sındırgı in Balıkesir province, a largely rural area known for its agriculture and small-town life. The quake struck at a shallow depth of just 10 to 11 kilometers, which amplified the ground shaking and made the impact far more destructive than deeper quakes of similar strength. The tremors were so intense that they were felt over 200 kilometers away, rattling windows and nerves in major cities like Istanbul and Izmir, as well as in parts of the neighboring provinces. Residential homes or abandoned commercial buildings that had not been reinforced to meet modern earthquake safety codes. The quake also destroyed two mosque minarets, iconic landmarks in the local skyline, which toppled and sent chunks of stone and concrete raining down on narrow streets. Witnesses described hearing a deafening rumble, followed by the sharp cracking of masonry as the ground beneath them heaved. Thick clouds of dust filled the air, reducing visibility to almost nothing and adding a suffocating weight to the chaos that followed. Rescue teams rushed in almost immediately, many of them low.
Ambulans.
Confirmed that none were in critical condition. In one particularly dramatic scene, 4 people were rescued from the rubble of a partially collapsed 2-story building, underscoring the importance of the swift and coordinated response. Turkey's Interior Minister, Ali Yerlikaya, quickly addressed the public, confirming the casualty figures and warning residents to avoid entering damaged buildings. He also urged everyone to remain cautious due to the risk of aftershocks, which in this case were not merely hypothetical. Within hours of the main quake, a 4.6 magnitude aftershock rattled the same area, shaking already weakened structures and fraying nerves. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan posted a message of solidarity on social media, expressing condolences to the victim's family, wishing the injured a speedy recovery and promising that the government would provide the necessary support to help affected communities rebuild. The Balıkesir quake serves as another reminder of Turkey's precarious position along the North Anatolian Fault Zone, NAFZ.
Arkadaşlar şimdi dinleme yapılacak ama siz de kulağınızla şöyle 3 metrede bir binanın etrafını dolaşın. Siz de kulağınızla hiç hareket etmeden dinleyin, tamam mı? Tamam, olur. Arkadaşlar orada tekrar devam edin.
The destruction was just as severe. Homes built of stone and brick, without modern reinforcement, were no match for the violent shaking. Entire walls collapsed outward into streets, blocking access for emergency vehicles. The minaret of the local mosque cracked at its base before snapping and falling into an adjacent courtyard. Streets became impassable, choked with rubble, splintered timber, and twisted metal. Eyewitness videos captured by residents and drone footage, later released by news outlets, showed collapsed houses, cars buried under debris, and families huddled together in open spaces to avoid being trapped indoors during aftershocks. The earthquake also disrupted daily life far beyond the immediate epicenter. In Balıkesir city center, shop windows shattered, ceiling tiles fell in supermarkets, and tremors sent merchandise crashing to the floor. In some areas, power outages left neighborhoods in darkness for hours, adding to the confusion and fear. Local hospitals activated emergency protocols to handle incoming patients, with medical teams working late into the night to treat injuries and provide psychological support for traumatized residents. Blankets and medical supplies reached those in need. By early morning, engineers had begun conducting structural safety inspections on public buildings, schools, and hospitals. Unsafe structures were cordoned off, and demolition teams prepared to bring down walls at risk of collapsing. Seismologists from the Kandilli Observatory and Earthquake Research Institute emphasized that while a magnitude 6.1 quake is considered strong, the relatively low death toll was due in part to the quake striking in the evening when many people were still awake and able to react quickly. They reiterated calls for the nationwide retrofitting of older buildings and the strict enforcement of building codes in all seismic zones, warning that complacency could lead to far greater tragedies in the future. For survivors, the hours and days following the quake were filled with uncertainty. Many chose to sleep outdoors, despite cooler nighttime temperatures, fearful of being trapped if another strong aftershock struck. Others worked alongside rescue crews, helping to clear debris and recover personal belongings from damaged homes. Volunteers from surrounding provinces arrived to assist, bringing both manpower and morale. Community solidarity was on full display as neighbors shared food, offered shelter, and helped comfort those who had lost everything. By the second day, roads were being cleared, and utility crews worked to restore electricity and water supplies to affected areas. The Ministry of Environment, Urbanization, and Climate Change began mapping the damage zone in preparation for longer-term rebuilding plans. Financial aid and emergency relief funds were allocated to Balıkesir province, with priority given to repairing essential infrastructure and supporting displaced families. Schools in the region were temporarily closed while safety inspections were carried out. Though the Balıkesir earthquake claimed only one life, its impact will be felt for months to come. It disrupted communities, damaged infrastructure, and served as yet another reminder of Turkey's ongoing seismic risk. Experts stress that such events should be seen as urgent warnings, opportunities to strengthen building standards, invest in disaster preparedness, and educate the public on how to respond when the ground begins to shake. For the people of Sındırgı and the surrounding villages, the quake was both a traumatic experience and a test of resilience. Amid the destruction, stories of quick thinking, neighborly assistance, and effective emergency response provide a sense of hope that, with the right measures, future disasters might bring less devastation.
Allah'ım her yer yıkıldı. Allah'ım Allah'ım. Allah'ım. Yıkıldı yıkıldı. Allah'ım.